Kickstarters 8 years ago or whatever it is. I had people who had done Kickstarters prior tell me that I couldn't do what I wanted to do. They were like, you can't do that. You can't. And the plan was, I'm going to make a book, issue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to number, I'm going to run them out, whatever.
Yeah.
Just like I would release a comic book in the stores. And he came to me, and more than one person, but especially this one dickhead that put the chip on my shoulder. And he was like, you can't do that. It is an impossible thing to do. Your attrition rates, assuming that they're like retail stores, are going to fall off, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I don't see anything that tells me what you're talking about is true in any capacity. And so I just was like, I'll show you how to do it. And so we went from, this is when we did Penny for Your Soul. First issue, we did about $16,000 roughly.
Way to go.
I don't remember how many backers, 250, something like that. Second issue was basically almost identical, money and backers. And then the third one jumped us over 300 backers. We went from 16 to like 20,000 or something. And then issue 4, 5, 6, 7. By the time we got to issue 7, we had gone from 16,000 to $32,000.
Right.
Opposite, incremental growth. So that chip's still there because fuck that guy. But that was the chip that I didn't really talk about last night. The one that's sort of dissolved is the one that I started with, which was when the industry basically ignored me when I pitched to them. All these publishers like, hey, here's my book. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, I didn't even get a no. I got nothing. I didn't get rejection letters. I got nothing but radio silence. And that was my initial, like, okay, I'm going to show you what you missed. And now that has now been 15 years ago. Multiple books in the Diamond Top 300 from back in the day, not this nonsense 500 that they had to do to expand it out. Multiple books at Diamond Top 300, worked with some of the best in the business, Joe Gisco, J. Scott Campbell. I mean, who the fuck am I? And I'm working with these guys. So screw you guys. and thank you to everybody who gave me the opportunity.
Way to fucking be. Way to be. Calderon, you think you're out here operating with a chip on your shoulder?
I don't know. At one point in time, there was probably a chip on my shoulder. Now it's more a thing of I have purpose.
Okay.
Right? Like, when I was young, you got to remember, I started when I was 18 years old. So there was definitely a chip on my shoulder, right? I have a book. I have this book here, which I will eventually remaster and re-put out, is as Dreamweavers and Extreme Homage. And it's a parody book of my characters goofing on the extreme characters and the homage characters. And, and this is me taking the knife and doing this.
Yeah.
Okay. There's stuff in here that I think is funny. Most of the people who've ever read it think it's funny because I think only 4 people have ever read it. But it didn't have a big release. I only printed 500 of them. I'm pretty sure 200 of them got about 350 got distributed at the time. About 150 of them got lost in the flood. So yeah. But so I'm gonna eventually get that together, get that back in circulation in full color. But at that point in time, we definitely had, and it wasn't just myself, it was the artists, it was all of us, right? In that book, he mimics Jim Lee style, he mimics Rob Liefeld style, he mimics Mark Silvestri style. You understand? And we're in there and we're digging at these guys. There's one page in particular, it was a 9-panel grid where it's 3 creators, no one specific, and we are presuppositioning what a conversation is between the 3 of them about how they make a plot in their story, right? And it is the most ridiculous shit you could ever imagine because that is the garbage they produced, right? It was a ridiculous conversation by 3 ridiculous fucking creators making ridiculous fucking books. Okay? So I certainly did have a chip on my shoulder at one point, right? Do I still have one? You know, I don't have, I don't, you know, I don't have a lot of people telling me, oh, you can't do this because I've been doing it so long. They're like, well, yeah, the motherfucker's doing it, right? But you know, and even if someone does come out of the war, it's more like, fuck you, buddy. Like, you know, you go
Yeah.
off
Yeah.
a fucking cliff. I don't give two
Yeah.
shits about you. You know, it's like, I'm like, Tom, can I visit you to drown this person in your lake? You know, that's, you know, it's to that point. It's just like, whatever, man. Like, you know, go stand in your corner, you know, live your miserable life wherever the fuck you're gonna live it and however you're gonna live it, and I'll live my life however I want to live, right? Yeah. You know, so yeah, there definitely was a chip. Is there a chip now? Like I said, I think I feel more I have purpose. You understand? And that purpose is to finish. You know what I mean? I have a lot of projects going, and I want to finish these projects. And there's more coming. So it's like, you know, I just want to, you know, get through these. You know, and I say that because it's never gonna end.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Drop. Yeah. I'll drop before, you know, I finish. And that's how I want it though.
No, I hear you. Just, you know, just like everybody here, right? I was on the other side of the table going to conventions, right? I wasn't sending letters out. I was going in person, thinking I was, hey, go the extra mile, right? I was there with my zines, my ash cans, right? And I was acting like Oliver Twist. I was like, man, have some more. Will you look at my book? You know,
and just one of those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. But I was also looking for work, right? Because that was my resume. That was my calling card, my business card, whatever you want to call it. And I got shut down. And those were the nice ones, right? I got dogged. I got chewed out. I got laughed at.
If you don't mind me asking you.
Yeah.
Who, if you don't mind mentioning, right?
Okay.
Who chewed you out, and what was the worst one? And I'll explain to you why I'm asking.
Okay, I won't ever say who they are.
Right.
You know what? One of the people, I will say one of them. I'll say, ain't it cool news? Ain't it cool news? I don't even know if the website is still up right now. Are they still doing anything? I don't know.
Tom, any cool news? I mean, yeah.
They
long gone.
They went in on me, dude. They went in on me.
Really?
They gave me the whole, you know, this is very 90s. I can't believe that this guy thought a book like this would sell. The one thing they did get right, this is what I was trying to target. It was the book Curse of the Dragon Storm, right? Mm-hmm. And they said this guy looks like a cross between Nightwing and Iron Fist. And I was like, that's exactly what I was shooting for. Thank you.
Well, they got something right.
Thank you. But you know, I remember going to conventions. I remember I had a buddy who was doing some work, and he was getting interviews and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And you know, he was trying to talk me up at the same time, and some of these people that are not publishing anymore at all were like, yeah, right, push me off to the side. Yeah, get away from me, kid, kind of deal, you know. I was like, okay, but they're not here, right? That website is not here anymore. Unfortunately, there's still people at this time, right? That is just okay. Once you've gotten bigger and you're still able to chase or achieve things, you're still able to achieve things. They're still out there trying to throw shots because they haven't been able to as well.
Of course, that's normal. That's called normal.
Yeah, that's normal, right? And here we go, Lorraine. Yes, that's the name Unstoppable. Damn right. You know, I'm not a great big engine of destruction, right? I'm the little train. I think it can. And I'm keep trucking along, right? And I'm gonna hit obstacles, and I'm gonna get derailed, but we're gonna keep going. And we've been going since 2008 strong, right? I got one hell of a catalog. It could be bigger, but I've made mistakes too. I've invested money in places I shouldn't, like trying to make a video game. Invested money in trying to get the toys off the ground for years, but that was a learning experience as well. Spent money investing in other, what's the word? Not a conglomerate, not a union.
Just say venture.
What kind of venture?
Just say venture. You don't have to go.
Just a joint venture with other indie publishers.
How did that go?
I'm sure it was like something like crypto, and they bore lots of fruit.
Yeah.
Listen, at least with crypto, if you got in early, you made money.
Yeah. I've been around the block, and I'm still here. I'm still here, and I'm continuing to produce stuff. So I'm not resting on my laurels on what I've made. Right? We got new stuff. We got a campaign on right now. Right? We got 2 more in the pipeline, ready to rock and roll. So how do you guys keep going in the face of adversity if you're not utilizing the chip that's in your shoulder, on your shoulder? Excuse me.
Well, I think you have to have some pride in the fact that you're producing something. Like, I mean, maybe pride isn't the right word, but like, you just have to be like, I made another book. I made another book. I made another book. And like you just said, you can look back, like I go back to 2010, you go back to 2008, JayDee goes back to 1837 with, making stuff. But you can look within your window, whatever your window is of time between then and now, and you can look back and be like, that publisher's gone, that publisher's gone, that publisher's gone, that publisher's gone. And we're still making stuff here. And all of those publishers, most of those publishers that I'm kind of talking about, all had big names attached, big money behind them, all this kind of stuff, all the hype, all the internet was talking about them. Oh my God, this, gone.
Yeah.
We're still here. So, maybe at some point before we all die, the media will realize that, we have some value because we're still here. We're still consistent. We aren't hype. We're doing the work. We're producing things that still exist. Right. Without gigantic names attached, without gigantic money behind us. So I'm not going to hold my breath for that, but I think again, there is sort of a pride element in we're making things. We've outlasted the hype machines. We always talk about like the machines, right? We don't have the machines behind us. We've outlasted the machines multiple times. All of us are still here, whereas those machines have not all, but a lot of them have disappeared for whatever reason. But that's that Marvin challenge, right? Is I'm going to get up, and the challenge is I'm going to be here today. I'm going to be here tomorrow. I'm going to be here next month. I'm going to be here next year. And that might not be something that some of these other publishers can say.
Right. I mean, is a lot of the stuff that's going on right now, when you say that publishers disappeared because they were looking for big media deals too, right?
Yeah, for whatever reason. I mean, there's multiple reasons they can go away, but that's certainly one of them.
I'm looking to make a Netflix deal and looking to make a deal with Hollywood. And
right.
The product is designed to go right into making a TV show or a movie. But I mean, there's been a few people who came out of that initial scrum who got deals, and the deals never happened, and they never actually even, like, it took them years to get their book ready to go because they were waiting on other deals to go into place.
Right. What about you, Calvaro?
Well, like I said earlier, I mean, it's about purpose, right? It's like it's getting to the end goal of my series, right? I'm like, I got Oswald, which I'm looking at my wall. I have, I have 3 separate artists working on 3 separate stories all at the same time, right? And when they're done, I can finally move onto the final arc of this mouse's story.
Okay.
And I can't even tell you how excited I am to get to that point. And then there's 14 stories in that one, probably totaling another 2,000 pages. So, it's madness. It's madness. But, it's a thing of, I want to get this out. And it's not just this. Tall Tales still has to finish. Dreamweavers, it was originally planned to be a 6-issue limited series, probably gonna be 8 issues, but I want to get that done. I got 4 issues of Magi's Grace that's gonna get done, and then C and I may continue it. That's up to C. And then there's other stuff that I still want to do, right? So it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of just putting it out there. But as far as like the reason, it like I said, it's purpose. I want to go out there and I just want to put out good books, the best books I can create, and just keep moving forward.
No, I'm there with you. I want to put out not just the best books I could create, but the ones I want to tell. You know what I mean? I'm at a point where if I was offered a deal somehow, some way, to write for something else, I don't know if I can work in that environment. Right? I'm here, and here's the only person I want to tell without.
Here's the only advice. Here's the only thing I could tell you about that. Right? When I did it, right? You should look. It was good because it forced me to sit down and be a professional. Okay. It forced me to sit down every day and write. But I mean write like for 4, 5, 6, sometimes 10 hours a day. Okay. And it forced me to do it because I had to get these scripts done. I had to get these stories done. Right. And through that structure, right, it teaches you to have an iron will, right? To not fuck around, to not get up and say, "Oh, let me go watch TV for 2 hours." To not
I gotta have 2 hours. I gotta have at least 2 hours.
But I'm just saying though.
I think Jay's point though is more from the creative side. Like he feels like he's in a box that he has to adhere to the rules of that.
No, I understand that part of it. You understand, but sometimes even in that box like that they give you, it forces you to work more, sometimes more creatively, because you have to work within that structure, right? Sometimes you have to really, really think real hard. It's like, okay, how can I keep within this sphere, right? Not go outside of it. Work within this sphere and do the things that they need me to do, right? So I would tell you, if you ever get the opportunity, I would say just try it. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It might not work. You understand? But just try it.
Right.
Or
I'm not chasing it either. You know what I mean? That's the thing.
Yeah, I did my stint and I was just like, fuck it. Because I knew guys, I was hanging out with a couple of artists that were going up, that were working in Marvel. And they were like, yo, like, come with us, we can bring you along. And I was just like, no. Just like, no. I was like, no. I visited the offices. I didn't like the atmosphere. Mark Grunwald, who I know is one of your favorites. I remember when I went up there with Daphne, I was like 21, 22. She was still in college. She was going up there for an internship.
Okay.
Right. And she asked to bring along her goon boyfriend. That was me. So, and that's why she didn't get the internship, because they were like, she got a boyfriend. But while I was up there, I saw some very interesting things. I got to meet some of the people there. And one of the things that somebody had asked me, they'd asked me, like, if there was a book I could work on, what would I work on, right? And what would I want to do? And I had mentioned Captain America. And I had mentioned that nothing good had been done with Captain America for years.
Oh, no.
And the dude was like, hold on, let me go get Mark.
No.
Now, he ran off to go get Mark Grunwald.
Yeah.
And I was like, and at the time I was kind of oblivious to who he was. I had read some of the books. I really didn't know the name. He was out that day, thank God. Because if he would have come to me and given me that type of heat, I was a kid from the hood, I would have fucking killed him. Okay. You don't even understand the amount of anger that I possessed at that age. You understand? I mean, you laugh, but I'm serious. I would have hurt that motherfucker. I would have really.
I'm laughing because I understand. Okay, right. The chip on my shoulder is not just for comic books. Okay, right.
The chip had nothing to do with comic books. This had everything to do with I'm from the streets, and don't dare say anything wrong to me because I'm serious. I will hurt you because that's just what it was back then. This was different days. This was the 80s. This was different days.
That's what you got to say. This was the 80s.
It was the 80s. It was the 80s.
Right, so we got somebody waiting in the wings. But before I bring him in, I want to show off something that we're always asking this creator to do, and that is create a pre-launch page. And he finally has one up.
Oh my God!
Right now. Oh my God!
God.
Here we go.
Listen, world baby. Premiere.
He put it together. And we gotta present it. It's a piece of work that we need to acknowledge. Here we go.
It's a piece of something.
All right, Tom, hit us up, kid.
It's just what we've been talking about. It's the omnibus for the Legend of Oz. It celebrates 15 years of publication next year. We're going to go deep into the next volume, but the first 4 volumes are trade paperbacks are basically out of print. They will be gone by the end of this year. So instead of reprinting those all individually, we're going to do a new product. It'll be the first 4 volumes. This will be roughly close to about 500 pages between the story and the cover galleries and all the extra bonus stuff. Hardcover edition, soft cover edition as well. And then this is part of our book fair that we now do on an annual basis, I guess, because last year we did it. It was a big success. This year we're going to do it again. So not only can you get this book, but if you're not familiar with Big Dog Ink stuff, you can get all of our other trade paperbacks. There's back issues available. There's art prints. There's just all kinds of extra stuff available beyond this. But if you just want the Oz book, super easy. Go in, grab it, pledge for it, and you're good to go.
Awesome. And it goes live when?
Saturday.
What happened to Wednesday?
Yeah.
It was supposed to be last Saturday. Yeah. Then it was Wednesday on Saturday. And then it was now it's
Saturday, but then it's going to end on a Wednesday.
Okay. Now it's going to end on
it doesn't come out on a Wednesday, but it ends on a Wednesday?
Yeah.
All right. Well, somebody who's been patiently waiting on
hold on, before you do that.
Oh.
The segue. So has everyone seen the Wizard of Oz Las Vegas Spear thing?
Yep.
Oh yeah, looks interesting.
Well, I haven't seen it, but I've seen
no.
Yeah.
There's videos on YouTube. It looks terrible. I'm sorry, it looks bad.
Okay.
It looks horrible. Okay.
All right, here we go. We're bringing in Zing, who's been waiting for a little bit there. What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, good, man. How are you?
Good. Thanks for joining us tonight, bro.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, man. Whatchamacallit? So Marvin is not the only one working on action figures, right? I know Zing has his own set of babies ready to go, right? You got pictures of the prototype? You want me to share, or you got the prototypes in hand with you, bro?
Oh, I got them with me.
Wait a bee. Let's see. Come on, man.
So I maybe just a bit since a little backstory. So last year I started the toy division of my company.
Okay.
And just founded it and built it up from scratch. And because I'm the artist on my own series, I already do all the designs, all the drawing, everything for the comic book. So all I needed was 3D sculptors to work with because I don't know how to do that. But so I went and found some very talented 3D sculptors who've worked on a lot of really cool IPs from like video games and stuff. And I told them what I wanted to do. And they were like, yeah, they're into it. So we started designing them and getting them built, and it was fun because there are parts of designs that like you would see later in the graphic novel series, but with the toy, it kind of gave me the wiggle room to say, well, I don't want to wait to show that. I want to show part of that now. So that's what we started doing. So the first things we did were we made the swords that come with the Prince Adonis action figure, and since the line is 1/6 scale, all the swords are like
big.
Oh yeah. So this is one of the dual sets that comes with it. And these, so in Symphonic Verses, the main character, his family has these swords that were blessed onto his bloodline, and they possess the power that was like infused from dying stars. And so the divine dragons bless these onto the house of Latreculus, so that anyone in that bloodline who is king can wield these divine weapons. So this is the first set of them that are a matching set. This one is called the Ensanguining Zerexeron. So this is the third one that comes in the set. And if you notice, they all have faces on them, and they represent the 4 empresses of death that make up some of the ancestors from his empire. This is one of my favorite ones. Same thing, has the faces, but there is an additional face at the top, and it's the same mirrored on both sides. And then this is the last one that will come with the first figure. It's a sword, but it's also a guitar, and it's called Hauntingly Heart Baroque. And actually, that visage is of an enemy that he defeated, and then he turned her into basically like a spy and a slave because she serves his enemy, and he bound her life to this sword. So now she has no choice but to tell him things about his enemy so that he can use it against them. So this is one of the other swords that will come with the Adonis. These were the first test prints of his shoulder armor. We split it up at first just to see how it would look, so we make sure we're not missing anything that way. But then we made the first figure 7-inch, but it had there was like some articulation issues because of the design, so we had to go back and redesign it, and then like redesign some of the articulation again. So at the time, I only had a part of his body that was available to be produced. So this is just part. He doesn't have arms and legs and like the rest of his coat and all the stuff that you'll see, but it gave me an idea of how everything will look. And then we made the next figure in the line, which was one of the villains, a Shadow Knight. And this is actually the leader of the Wraith Viper Shadow Knights, and we were able to fully.
Oh, that's huge. That's beautiful, dude.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. So he's got these thunder auroras up here, which is where his power comes from, and the Shadow Knights in the series, they exist as like a race of warriors as their race, basically, and they thought for centuries that they had been extinct, but they were just in hiding as they were building alliances and building their sinister power as they're trying to help control the narrative of things that are going on in the world. So this one is fully done, but it just has limited articulation. The finished version, of course, will have like 28 points of articulation, and the gauntlets will be swappable with Adonis, where he can then claim the power from different Shadow Knights and take the gauntlets with him and put them on his armor.
So how many figures in the set?
So in the first wave, there's going to be 4. I was going to do 8, but I thought, well, because it is so expensive, it's just like the cost is ridiculous for this stuff.
Yeah.
But I figured, well, we'll start with 4. So these are the first 2, and then there's going to be one more villain and then one more main character that will come with this. And he has a cape. This is the cape, but for the final figure, I'll probably get it like where it's soft goods, because this is really heavy.
Good.
The body itself weighs almost 5 pounds, just for this. So, and he'll have like a few weapons. He fights with a really unique spear that matches how his armor is. And in the Shadow Knight Empire, their empire is called Despavari Nightingale, and there are like many different classes of Shadow Knight warriors that exist, and some are very elite. This is one of the elite ones. And then the 4 like warlords who command the Shadow Knight, they're even more ornate and dangerous, and their outfits are way more exaggerated than just even how his is. So each set I'll release a different Shadow Knight, a different boss, various versions of Adonis and different armors and stuff like that. So this is where it's at. And then, I do have, let me show you one thing. I do have, because they're 1/6, they're going to have to come in 3 boxes.
Jesus, bro.
This is the main box that the figures will come in. And this is the master prototype. So it's already got this is the American and international codes. It's got the picture of Adonis. There will be like, dialogue on the box. This is the synopsis for the series and what it's about. And then inside this will be 2 boxes that are 12 by 12 by 5 and stacked on top of each other. One box will hold the figure, the other box will hold the weapons and accessories and stuff like that. So this is what they'll come in when people get them.
All right. So, and what's the price point going to be per figure?
So for the 1/6 line, they're $350 each. There is a $100 version that's going to be sold at Walmart, but then there's going to be a 1/12 version line as well, and those will probably be like maybe $39-40 per figure, because it's much smaller. And you'll still get some of the main like accessories and things, but the 1/6 scale comes with everything that you'll get for the figure.
Bro, that didn't, when you were showing off the blades originally, it did not look like action figure blades. It looked like, I'm gonna small little daggers to take care of business with on the side if you don't get the right amount of change from the figures, man. But look, we got the 5 of us here. We've all worked on action figures in different stages of development, right? Tom, Calderon, they've completed that stuff. Marv is in the process of launching it right now. Seeing you are a hell of a lot further than the prototype phase. You're ready to rock and roll with your stuff. I am ready to rock and roll, at the end of September. Do you guys have advice for those who, like me, eat with their eyes and try to get into the action figure arena while they're also still trying to develop a comic book series? Anybody?
You want an honest answer to that?
I want an honest answer to
You want
that.
an honest answer?
Let's go, Marvin. Let's go, baby.
Don't
First one
do
up.
it. Don't do 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 it at the same time you're trying to develop your brand. Don't do it.
That's what I was going to say, is you have to have something developed before you can take that logical next step, just because of the cost. The cost is just so it's not like you're there's ways to do it cheaper, where you can just do like 3D printing and you can make 20 of them or whatever. And a lot of people do that if you just want to kind of have something in that context. But to go like full action figure, it's just a different It's just a completely different stratosphere of buyers and purchasers. And it's not to say that you can't make something and attract somebody that doesn't know what it is, because you can, but you need to have that foundation of buyers already that are like, I know what that is and I want that. And then all of the new guys that come in, that's your icing on the cake, you know?
Right.
So yeah.
Right. It's an entirely different audience than the comic market.
Yeah, because even if they know what it is, it doesn't mean that they want a toy.
Right.
Like they're just comic book buyers. Like, oh, I like this book, but I don't need a toy.
And it swings the other way too. I mean, you're going to try to sell people who buy action figures. You want to buy your comic because then you want to keep the comic moving, but they might not even care. They don't want that.
Right. Sometimes those things do not cross. Right. Calderon, what do you say about this?
I mean, you know, when I did it, we didn't have Kickstarter, right? So it was 2008. And also I did a vinyl figure, so it was a little different, right? So, I mean, at the time I researched it for 2 years, right? Yeah. And I was like, okay, it's good to get in. I got in. And I'm telling you, I got the phone call from my damn distributor, and he was like, yo, man, if I'd have had these a year ago, I'd have completely sold out. Right. But now the market crashed, blah, blah, blah. And I was just, you know, it's, you know, you got to go into it. Love what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right. Mitigate your expectations and, you know, be prepared to not, I don't want to say, be prepared to, I don't want to say not succeed, but be prepared to, you know, just mitigate your expectations, right? That's probably the best thing I can say. You understand? Because it's a tough market. Because even though, you know, what we're doing is important to us, right? And we have some fans that it's going to be important to them to have. For a majority, you know, I mean, you know, I would really like to hear on some of the like obscure toy lines, like what their numbers are like, right? Like there's stuff that obviously is like G.I. Joe, Star Wars, and that stuff, you know, their numbers are astronomical, but you know, what
current
what
lines or previous lines?
Current, previous, it doesn't really matter. I mean, like what is a Chucky toy sell?
It's, you know, different. They're licensed. That's licensed. That's
right.
Out of,
you understand,
right?
Like, right. And then, but I mean, but the thing is like, you know, but what do other independent toys sell also?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you're talking like Animal Wars at a Kingdom.
Yeah, that's the only one I know of. I mean, I know there's others, but
there are quite a few others, right? Chicken Fried Toys, Valor Legends. But Marvin and I go back and forth on this quite a bit, you know. And you see a totally different role when you go to toy conventions, right? Sing, you've been there. You showed off what you got. What would you tell somebody who wants to start heading down that path, brother?
I mean, you do have to have something complete. Like sometimes a company, like let's take He-Man, perfect example. They made the toys, but then they created the lore as they went along, and then they did the animated series, and then they, you know, the fan base just exploded and the lore built more and more, and here we go. But if you have something that's already there, that helps, because then you know, okay, I don't have to over explain why it exists. It's already there. But then the other side is the cost. And now me, like, I'm not using any crowdfunding to produce this. Like, I'm just producing them just on my own, right? Just with my company. And you have to be willing to be honest about the cost, about what you can take on, about what's reasonable, because the thing about toys is it's like, yeah, it's cool to see something that you made. Like for me, when I first saw that first prototype, I don't have kids, but I assume that's what it's like when people see their kid or whatever, and they're just like, "Holy crap! Like this is, here's something I created today." Today, September 1st, Symphonic Verses has been in print for 31 years.
Look at that.
That's how long I've been making and publishing my series, and so it's great to see that. But you have to take into account what it cost to, and especially for people who they're not artists, or they're not designers, or they're not sculptors, or it's like a whole other reality to the creative aspect. It's enjoyable. It comes with headaches and challenges, and it's difficult, but it's if you have you're working with the right people, and you've got that grit to just keep at it, because you know what you want out of it, then it will be worth it in an aspect. But it's a lot of work.
Oh yeah. It's a lot of work, and I will tell anyone who is trying to head down that path, you're going to lose a lot of time. Right? You could be spending that time developing the other part of your craft, which is making comic books. If I were able to take back all the money that I spent on all these other side things, because I eat with my eyes, I would have a hell of a lot larger catalog than I do now. I mean, I spent enough to cover at least another 12, 13 more issues easily. And I think that's under, I really think that's, the under on this one. You could just.
Now, Jay, let me ask you a question. Was there ever a point before you got to the point you're at now, right? Because you're at an end point, right, where you're going to launch. Was there ever a point somewhere in that process where you just say, where you maybe had said to yourself, damn it, maybe I could put this on a back burner and move forward?
I did. But that itch came back. It's I hate to say it. It's like
you just buy yourself some lotion.
I did, dude. I even thought about getting out of comic books at one point, right? There was a good moment where I was gonna open up a restaurant, and it wasn't gonna be in New York, I was out. I was leaving. I met she thinks this is a joke, right? Good thing you met me to stop you. But when I met my wife, my whole life changed, right? I put somebody before me, right? But I still had that itch. I still wanted to make more books. I still had stories to tell. I had stories to complete. And I'm like, okay, this is something I can still do while I'm maintaining a job, while I'm trying to build a relationship, and while I'm trying to take care of the family, right? And then once I started to get the ball rolling with that, I'm like, oh, okay, I've got a little bit more time. Let's see what happens when I revisit the action figures. And that snowballed. It was just like, and we got to this point. I was going to show off the last prototype today for the final stretch goal figure in the line that we're going to be launching in a few weeks, but we can wait on that. Marvin just launched. I don't want to take away none of his shine. Sing's got some great fucking prototypes up there. I don't want to take away from none of that. I mean, they were huge. They were big. My guys a little bit of living space, right? So we'll wait. We'll show that off. We'll show that off another time. But I want to get to some of the comments here for a second. All right. So we get Daphne, the creator of Labubu, was selling his dolls since 2013, and nobody cared until a K-pop star mentioned collecting them in an interview 2 years ago. Now everyone's unhinged over them. Wow. Sometimes it's just luck. We were thinking about making some keychain dolls with our characters in a Hello Kitty style, but the cost outpaces our audience currently. As much as I want them, we have to accept that it's not time, and that's something that you were asking, Calderon, right?
Mhm.
That's the hard part.
Yeah,
Right? It's
sure.
accepting that. It's accepting that. Sometimes the monkey's on your back, right? Sometimes you listen to
But also,
the devil on the other shoulder when you
also
see
it's
it.
the allocation of funds,
Oh,
right?
definitely.
Like where are you going to allocate? Like I said, I got 3 artists doing 3 separate books on Oswald. I could just as easily have taken that money and just have done the keychains, right? But I'm like, nah, I'd rather have the books
Mhm.
than the keychains.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So, all right, this is a great position now, right? So, the action figure development was a hell of a lot more money than other things, like enamel pins, right? I've been putting a lot more of my surplus into generating some enamel pins because they're a lot cheaper to produce than toys,
Right.
and it has a wider reach than comic books and toys are, right? You're a lot more women are buying pins than they are action figures or comic books. That's one of my reasons for going down that road. They're easy to travel with, and you could get a really nice margin off of selling them, even when you're doing deals. Other than pins, are there other things you guys see out there that hit those points?
Stickers.
Stickers, okay.
Stickers. These things like these keychain things.
Yeah.
Oh, the acrylic things, okay.
Yeah.
Also,
But do you
the
sell them, or
Hmm?
you give them away? You sell them, or you give them out?
It's both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah. I throw some of them I do the packs, the books.
Okay.
And I throw stuff in there, and then I kind of slyly upcharge it a little bit.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
yeah.
What
There's
about
also acrylic standees. A lot
Uh-huh.
of people will be into those.
Yeah, those are big. Tom does those a lot. Those move really good for you, right?
okay?
They go okay. They go okay. It's not gangbusters.
Mhm.
I think that I think it's an interesting thing to put on your shelf and so on. But again, it's still how much merch does your audience want
Yeah.
Right.
versus do they just want the comics, the art, whatever. So I think it's very just you go to this con, they're very into merch. You go into this
Mhm.
con, they don't give 2 shits. So
I've just found like the pins, stickers, and then the cards.
yeah, when we do stickers or magnets, it's an attraction. People, if nothing else, it's an attraction. Like people look at it and they're like, "Oh, what is that?" And then you can talk to them about it. But I mean, they're really cheap, so you're not going to be making your table off of selling stickers.
Yeah.
But what we do sell them, but we do them as like, okay, for every book that you buy,
Right.
you can take a free sticker.
There you go. Okay.
Like that kind of thing.
Okay.
Because the cost of them is really low too. So
Right.
Yeah. Same when you do a cons or events. Do you find anything else that you can use to pad your numbers?
I mean, I do flyers and bookmarks, and
Okay.
when people purchase the collector sets, I give them the QR code to download the soundtrack. Stuff like that. And those, they have some pretty, there are some kind of heavy names attached to it. I think the difference with things too, like I think like what Tom and JayDee were saying about weighing the cost really versus what's being bought, and like we get that, like that need to want to say, yeah, I want to have A, B, and C to show from the series. For me, like I'm very fortunate in the sense that I'm the writer and the artist and the letterer and the publisher for my own work. I do it all. So my only cost is just printing. Everything else, I do myself. And so the cost there is really non-existent that way for me, for those things. So that's something too that people have to take into account. What are you building to offer to your audience, especially if you have like a newer series. If you just throw a bazillion things at people, sometimes it gets to be too much. But if you're just building, you got a couple things, and it's got a decent response from people, then you just kind of keep following those breadcrumbs, and then as you can grow, you grow some more, and you make some other things, and then you share it with people that way.
All right. Yeah, no, I look, I see these things as like when you go to a restaurant and they say, "Do you want fries with that?" Right? Those are those extras, those add-ons, right? The things that you can use to boost the numbers, right? Like Tom, you do a hell of a lot of business when it comes to alternate covers, metals, foils, all that other stuff, right? And I've got some of those going down right now in the Vicky Sticks campaign as well.
Oh, what a shill! God damn.
Right? These are
used me,
our blood red
JayDee.
foil
You used
covers.
me.
Oh my gosh!
You like that, baby? That's how we go. That's how we do. Right?
Hey, Tom,
So
let's
you
talk
got-
about you, but now it's my turn.
These are blood red foil covers that are in the Vicky Sticks campaign, right? So if you're still checking it out, we got a week left. You can jump on that. But you've got those extra items, and do you find when you're campaigning, like the acrylic standing,
I like that.
you've got more of a reader base or a collector base?
Oh, it varies hardcore from con to con. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and I'm learning that real fast now too. Like we talked about yesterday, JayDee.
Everyone saw yesterday.
I'm seeing at a lot of cons. I'm seeing a very big shift towards a reader base more so than a collector base. I mean, they kind of overlap a little bit, but people are very into like, I want that big honking omnibus. I want the trades. I want to go home with something to read. There's definitely still people buying variant covers and collecting art and all that. That's still a thing, but this whole year so far, the cons that we've done, and I've talked to other artists and stuff that are like variant cover artists. I'm like, are you seeing what I'm seeing? And they're like, yeah, people want to read stuff. People want books. They like the art. That's fine. But there's definitely a shift happening at least within the context of Comic-Cons and that sort of thing.
What do you think caused that?
I think too much. I think oversaturation. I think people probably are just like, there's so much, and I just kind of want to read the story and know what this character is about, and then maybe after they do, maybe they come back and they're like, oh, now let me go. There's like a cover gallery in the trade paperback, right? Oh, look, there's a few covers that I want. Let me go see if I can find those covers, right? Certainly that can happen. But I think that the variant cover thing has reached a point of it's all about, not all about, but it's a majority of it is people are buying it for the purpose of getting it signed, graded, and flipping,
Right.
versus like, I just want to put this in my collection.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not within that sort of trajectory of sales, like I have J. Scott Campbell, I have Ryan Otley, I have whoever, right? Those guys are getting collected, graded, flipped, whatever. If you're like, well, these are my guys, and they don't kind of tie into the collector base of those big names, you're not going to sell as many because people are like, well, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that artist is. So if I grade it, who cares, right? So I think that's part of it too. Like if you want to be a part of that sort of collector market, you have to go chasing those guys down. You have to go trying to get those names attached to your brand. And then you can kind of change perception of who you are and what you do. But those guys will cost you an arm and a leg in a lot of cases too. So again, it's ROI. It's cost versus the return. And you know, I'm not saying there's a right or wrong to do it. We've done it before, but you just have to, sometimes it's a test. Sometimes you have to say, well, let me do one. Let me see if people even react to this. And if they do, great, go do it again. But if they don't, then you have to ask yourself, okay, why did my whatever J. Scott Campbell cover not sell on my book? And I got bad news for you. If you can't sell a J. Scott Campbell cover on your book, something's wrong with your book, because people are looking at that character, whatever he drew, and they're not vibing on it, right? Even if they're a Scott Campbell collector and like, I want all the Scott stuff, except for that one, then something's wrong with what you've done with your book.
That's a hard.
I've moved some of the edge graded books at conventions. Like people were, some guy just walked up and said, "Hey, do you have anything graded?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do. Here, take it. I will sell you all." He sold, like, he bought the whole run. Like I graded issues 1 through 5, and he bought one of each. So I don't know.
Yeah, we do a little bit of grading, but for me, I've also seen that grading has become very personal. So like, instead of buying a graded book, like they want to buy the book. They want to look at it. They want to be like, it's perfect. Okay, I'm going to send it in. Like they want that challenge of like, I can spot a 9.8 and I'm going to send it in and I'm going to get it. I'm going to spend $5 on it and turn it into $100 book in their mind, versus I'm just going to spend the $100 and get it. They like that challenge, is what I've seen.
Okay.
So this is what I was talking about. So I just throw a bunch of stuff in there, put a price tag on it, so it's got the cards and stuff on it.
Okay, you put together a little set.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Somebody who's running a set right now is What My Eyes See, I Cannot Tell 1 through 4 on Kickstarter. Yeah, how's that? Come on. That was a good seg. That was a good seg, guys.
Shaky transition.
Margaret set me up. I hammered it down, bro. All right, Calderon, you got 9 days left on this bad boy, kid.
9 days left. This is 1 through 4, like Jay said. What My Eyes See, I Cannot Tell. The story. This is a story of when Oswald's in Dream, and he's telling the tale of when he first takes over this empire. He's married to a young lady. She's a princess, and how he first falls in love with her, because it was a marriage. It was an arranged marriage, basically. So it took a while for him to get together with her and just find out who they were. And he's telling the tale of how he first fell in love with her and the other tribulations that he goes through as he tries to get this religion removed from these people, because they're not really worshiping a god. He finds that they're worshiping some kind of ancient evil entity, and he's just like, nah, I can't have this. So he's trying to remove them. But you have a certain a secular nature of their culture where they're in there and they're like entrenched within their culture. And Oswald's like, no, I'm going to rip you out and I'm going to toss you to the side, and you're just going to accept it. And of course, he's getting pushback. He's getting heavy pushback from this other section of his of this population. So that's what this story is about. So, and that's just him going through these things, and he's fighting all kinds of wizards battles with all these crazy monsters and demons and stuff. So
I just realized this panel is fucking badass right there, kid.
Yeah, let me tell you, Jade does some really
excellent
stuff. Yeah,
that is creepy as shit. I like it.
Yeah,
like the suction cups on the inside of the arm. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. I like that, man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the evil entity you're talking about, yeah?
That's one of its servants.
Wow. Okay. All right, that works, baby.
Yeah,
that works. All right. So you got 9 more days left on it. You're already funded.
Yep. It would be nice to get a few more shekels in there, and then
There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with that. A few more shekels, right? You got 56 backers. Oh, look at that, bro. Way to be, man. Good luck.
It
I
looks
hope you
good.
get it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And anybody who's interested in it, the links are right here in the comments. So jump on this bad boy now.
Jump on it.
All right. Here we go.
Jay's trying to make up for not inviting me earlier.
No. All right. People want actual value for the prices they're paying for the books. Okay. Way to be, Daphne.
I disagree completely.
Oh.
I disagree completely. Now, and I only say that because of where we are with the industry right now, and these guys buying blind bags endlessly, blind bags. They're more than willing to take a shot in the dark at the potential chance of something good, and buying multiple blind bags at like, well, I'm going to get that special, whatever it is. And they'll, it's value is I'm going to buy this pack. I get the 3 books and I'm happy. They're in my collection. I'm done. But these guys are like, well, I'm going to buy 10 blind bags and I'm going to see what I can get. It's like,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, listen,
Let's go gambling. That's
There
right.
you go.
That's it,
Yes.
Daphne. Yes.
Yes.
That's where we are right now. Now, again, that's a certain segment of the market, though. It's
Yes.
a very specific segment. Like I said, at Comic Cons, it is different. People do want that value. People do want a big book, at a good price. Like I want to go home and sit in my chair and read my big book. Like that's very true. So it's segmented. That's why it always kind of drives me crazy when people are like, "What's wrong with the industry?" I'm like, which one of the 80 different segments of the industry are you talking about? Because
Right.
they're all have their own infrastructure and ecosystems and what they do and why, and that's what makes it really talking about the industry sort of a difficult thing.
It's not always gambling. I got to say, when it comes to this product, because I do mystery boxes, which is right along those.
No,
lines.
hold on. There's a difference though between a mystery box
And the
and
blind
these
bag.
blind bags. There's a
Okay.
difference because generally speaking, in a mystery box, you're at least going to get some specific item. At least
Right.
that's the way that we do it. Like, yes, there are 10 books, for example, right? 9 of them are miscellaneous books from all of our titles.
Okay.
And one of them is the specific book that you get in that specific box. You can't get it in any other way. So it's a mystery box with a specific, you're getting that.
Okay.
Right.
That's you. That's not
me.
how I set mine up.
That's me. So you doing it wrong, JayDee.
Really? I don't know, because we also do it. We pitch it as a sampler as well, not just
That's a
mystery
great
box.
idea. It's a great idea.
Right?
It's a great idea. But
And-
again, even in the sampler, you are still telling them you're going to get X,
Oh, yes.
Y, and Z books.
Yes.
So there are
Yes.
still specifics that you're getting.
Right. And our goal is to try to get them to open it in front of us.
Yes.
Right? Because
yes.
if they open it in front of us, we're going to try to get that video, right? If they
100%.
allow us to put it up.
100%.
But we're also going to try and push the additional sales. Oh, you got book two of 3, right? You've got book 4, right? Of 4. Look, here's 1, 2, and 3. Here's 1 and 3, right? So we try to, again, pad the sales. Cons, you got to gimmick it up a little bit too, right? And not everybody is ready to do that.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
I mean I've been, and I'm sorry, JayDee, I wasn't trying to.
No, go for it. Go for it.
That is one of the things that for years I have noticed. There are people who they say I've got this idea and it's great and it's this and blah blah blah, and then they go to a show and they just sit and they just put it on the table and they think that people are just supposed to come by and just say, oh wow, this is great, let me give you some hard-earned money, and then you not even try to tell me what it's about. They don't want to interact with the customer that way. They just sit there, and it's like you
Right.
can't, they're not mind readers, and unless you have something that's really well known that people are like, oh yeah, I know that, oh I've heard of that, oh I read that a few years ago and it's still going on, you're going to have to get up and work with them and get them interested in what you do, and not just there's no expectation that they just have to like it.
This is a great point. I love this point right here. This is fantastic. And again, it goes back to my thought process of what is the industry, right? Because even within the idea of variant covers, there are different segments, like I just kind of talked about, of where you sit with all this stuff. And if you decide that you want to play into that game, that blind bag game, or whatever you want to call it, there's 100% chance that you can attract people off of, hey, we have this stuff, right? You're going to make an attraction, but they still, in our situation, we're not Batman, we're not Battle Beast, we're not Red Sonja, right? So even though we have the ability for them to gamble at our booth, they still have to have a sense of like, oh, but I like what's on your banners. I like that character. I like that character. So let me try your blind bag. So if the indie community was suddenly like, blind bags are the thing, you're going to be sitting on a lot of blind bags, my friends, unless you happen to have like J. Scott Campbell is in there, Eric Basadua is in there, whatever, something high level that sort of surpasses your own brand. Just don't get hung up in it. You're not wrong about that. Do you want readers or gamblers? Where do you want to go? It's sort of the same thing of like the people that just sell boob covers all the time. Are you selling comics or are you just selling boob covers? Like, make your decision of where you are in your market. And I'm not saying either way is wrong. Just decide where you want to be. I'm the boob guy. Okay, go sell to the boob collectors. I'm the gambling guy. Go sell to the gambling guys. I'm the guy who makes things to read. Go sell to the reader people. Again, there's no industry. It is a fractured set of people and groups that all do different things different ways. And if you can take whatever it is that you do and hyper focus on the audience that you think should have it, you're going to be in a lot better shape.
Here we go. And Daphne comes back with, in the end, you have to have the audience support whatever you're trying to do. Damn right. Damn right you do. Damn right. And I've got some audience support right now in my latest book, which is still rocking and rolling on Kickstarter. And that is something that I'm not ready for because I was not paying attention.
You already shilled earlier. You don't get 2 shills.
I didn't get to put it up the link. I didn't get to show it off. Let me show it off, bro. You
showed the actual books in hand.
I showed the books in hand. I know. Yeah, I was gonna lead into showing off the actual link, but then you're like, "Hey, I was wait a minute." So I was like, you know what? Let me pull back the reins. I had a faux pas. Right? Let me try to repair that faux pas. So here we go. The Vinky Sticks, the zero issue. We've been going up and down with backers, fluctuating between above 80, below 80. Up money, down money, but we still got 6 days left to go. This is a prequel book. This is part comic book. This is part source book. So if anybody likes the old Marvel Universe handbooks or DC's Who's Who, you're going to get a little taste of that. If you're a returning backer, you're going to get a holochrome trading card already attached to your campaign. The early bird reward is over, but you can still add it on if you're interested. They are both holochrome trading cards. Here's some preview pages of the book itself. We got that going on. It's illustrated by Omar Frankia, written by me. For those who are running out of space at home, you've got the Unstoppable Comics digital catalog. That's every book that we've ever produced, and you can get it all on your iPad or your home computer. All you got to do is back it, and it's a great value. You're getting a discount there. We've already unlocked one stretch goal. We were really close to unlocking the second one, but again, the fluctuation. We've unlocked our first backer goal. We're trying to fight and get this second backer goal unlocked. These are the blood red foil stamp variants I showed everybody a moment ago. And here are trading cards that are added to every campaign we've ever done. And if you've missed them all, you can get the full current set on this campaign. And then here are some of our t-shirts. I got 6 days left for this baby. Jump on Friday night because we're going to be giving away a few of our other holochrome books that we found when we checked out the so it's not gonna, good call. Thank you, Daphne. I will work on that one. I didn't realize that. Yeah. On Friday night, we're going to be giving away a couple of holochrome trading covers to some random backers. All you got to do is back the campaign, and you're going to get something by chance, right? Triggering those gamblers by being part of the campaign. All you got to do is jump on, and that's the only way you'll have a shot. So that's on Friday. Here we go. Jay the Schiller Rosario does have a nice ring to it. I'm shilling, baby. We're shilling. All right. Except for the boom collectors who are also librarians. Way to be. Okay. Wow. We ran about an hour and a half. I want to thank everybody who has been hanging out with us in the comments. I want to thank everybody who is watching us today on Facebook and on YouTube, and those who are going to be catching the restream on Substack,
I
Twitter.
love how as soon as the chat starts popping and going, Jay's like, and we're out of here.
No, the chat is not. The chat popped all night. What are we talking about, bro? The chat popped all night, bro. Look, we're rolling. Look at this. No, but I mean, I got to work tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a really big, busy day. So I had to go a tight hour and a half. So before we get out of here, I want to let everybody tell folks where they can find them. Starting off with Mr. Calderon. Where can they find you, brother?
Kickstarter primarily. Just go to Kickstarter, right? That's where you can find it. But the AlphaChronicles.com.
I did show your book. Oh my god!
Yeah, you did show a book.
Oh my god, that's where I'm at.
You all right, bro?
Jeez, yeah.
Take it easy. Deep breaths.
Yeah, I was like,
the AlphaChronicles.com, TallTalesOnline.com's Facebook, Twitter, all those different places. Most Sunday nights here on Twitter, but I mean on now you got me there.
Everybody.
YouTube. But I won't be here this Sunday because I'm on vacation, but we'll be back the following week. So.
All right. So I guess I'm running Sunday. Anybody want to jump on? Let me know.
Enjoy it.
Sing, where can they find you, brother?
Google, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can put in the company name Phantom Blade Productions, or you can just look up Symphonic Verses, which is XIMPHONICVERSUS, and everything just pops right up there.
All right. Way to be, bro. Tom, where can they find you, kid?
BigDogInc.com, and I will not be here Friday. Telling you now, will not be here Friday. It's NFL season, my friend. Chiefs and Chargers from Brazil is Friday night, so I will be there, my friend.
Wait, you going to Brazil?
Yeah, I'm going to Brazil, Jay. No, I'm going to watch it on TV.
You said I'm going to be there.
Jesus.
Okay. Wait, there's no games. There's no games on Thursday.
There's a Thursday game and a Friday game.
Oh, okay. Yep. Okay.
It's the chefs. The chefs.
Listen, I got the 3-day countdown. So I'm gonna be going live Friday. We got to go live. Marvin, where can they find you, brother?
Comicsburg.com. All the links and shares are there.
My man. And I am at unstoppablecomics.com. You can find all my social media links there. 6 more days. Kickstarter. Vicky Sticks, the 0 issue. Walk with the dead princess through the darkest corners of the night. You only got 6 more days to join her.
Jeez.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. I love the comments. Thank you all for hanging out there. And if you're watching us on the restream, please leave a comment there as well. I'll see you all on Friday. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.